funniest guy in the world, and I'm also the host of Breaking the Rules. And we have a really exciting show today. We're going to scrap some of the stuff that we usually put in here because we have 3 guests, and this is 3 guests that have become an extraordinary team, wouldn't you say?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And they have a mission, and I'm going to introduce Dave Anderson first. And Dave is the president of the Boys and Girls Club of Mercer County. Did I get that right?
You did, Ray.
Okay, and take a minute and just give us a quick overview of what this organization does.
Sure. The Boys and Girls Club is about building hope and opportunity for youth. We're in 7 locations in Mercer County. We have a community center right by the Cure Arena on Center Street, and we also have one on Spruce Street in Lawrence Township. And then we have 5 school-based sites that serve kids all the way from preschool all the way through high school. We focus on education and career programs, on leadership and character development, and healthy lifestyles. And it's about providing youth with opportunities to do various programs that they then build passion about, that then keeps them focused. And club staff help them then on preparing for high school and post-secondary career pathways.
Cool. And the second person I want to introduce here is Bill Sheehy. And Bill is a financial advisor, an extraordinary financial advisor, I might add. But it's really interesting, and he brings several things into play over here. He brings his financial acumen and ability. He brings his athletic skills. You're going to talk about that later, okay? And then an idea that formed here that you guys have been developing. So take a quick overview of what's this idea and how did this come about?
Well, sure. Our mission, and it's RJ and myself and Dave, want to raise this year $100,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. Last year, we ran the Trenton Half Marathon, RJ and myself, along with 31 other runners, and we raised, surprisingly, $160,000. And our purpose was to put together an entrepreneurship and financial literacy academy specifically for the underprivileged, at-risk youngsters, largely in Trenton, although all of Mercer County is included, that don't have an opportunity to be exposed to financial literacy issues. And there's a tremendous underserving in the minority community in general of financial planning. I go to conventions several times a year, and I look around and I see that there are virtually no minorities represented, or a very, very small percentage, less than 1%. And the demand is very high to help people with these kinds of issues. So I teamed up with RJ, and we decided that we're going to build this academy and continue to run again this year with the for the Boys and Girls Club. And this year we have to run well, not have to, but we're going to run the Princeton Half Marathon on November the 4th. And we're also going to run, we're also going to be coordinated with the Meadows Miler Trail, which is a 5K and 10K and 1 mile run on November the 3rd, which is a Saturday. And together, we're going to perpetuate this program for the Boys and Girls Club.
Cool. So
Okay.
I can call you guys the marathon men, right? It's a half and a half.
Right,
That gets a
two
whole,
halves,
right?
yeah.
And Dave's got bad knees, right? So
Yeah,
he's not gonna be in
unfortunately.
here. Okay, but that's pretty cool. So
Dave's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
thing
you
gotta
together.
do a lot of
stuff
work
on
to
him
this,
at the
yeah.
end. Okay, so RJ Lewis, you have a company, Healthcare Solutions.
Correct.
How do you fit into this? How did you get involved, and where are we going?
So all 3 of us are in the Trenton Rotary Club together. And Bill is an inspiration. He did a similar run last couple of years. And at the age of 70, he said, I'm going to run the Trenton Half last year. And so at 71, he's going to run the Princeton Half, right? You'll be 71 by then?
I will be.
Yeah, yep. And how can you say no to a guy who's 70 years old and he says, come run a half marathon with me? You can't do it. I mean, it's just an inspiration to do it. And the cause, I think, is very close to both of us. When we sat down and we started talking about helping the Boys and Girls Club, he had a passion to educate kids on financial literacy because he sees it every day in his clients. And I had a passion to inspire the great American dream of building your own business. One thing that can lift anybody out of poverty is a good idea and persistence and good execution. So entrepreneurialism was very important to me. Financial literacy to Bill, and we put it together and we said, let's give these kids an opportunity that they don't have today.
Okay, now when we look at the pieces here, they're interesting because there's several. I mean, number one is we have a cause which is extraordinary, which we're going to get into more here. But we took people out of their comfort level and they're doing athletic things that they didn't think they were going to do. Do you have a quick comment on why you did this and what you're doing?
Well, you know, I like to think it was altruistic, but there's also the satisfaction that I personally have gained out of getting in shape, staying in shape, doing something worthwhile. So I guess all, you know, altruistic endeavors have some selfish motive. It's something that I guess there's almost a sense of guilt. I'm, you know, a very privileged person by living in America, living in freedom, with wonderful parents and sisters, and I look around in Trenton, and I happened to be there last week. We did a little video, and I got to witness some of the students there talk about their lives and why they go to the Boys and Girls Club, and to hear a youngster say, I'm there because I don't want to be shot, or I don't want to be abused, or I don't want to be selling drugs or into a gang. These are words and comments from real live people sitting right in front of me at a table that I've never heard before in my life. And it's very motivating to think that perhaps we can change the lives of several of those youngsters and put them into a path that would be very, very beneficial, because there's a great need for what RJ and I believe in.
Well, you guys have quite a vision here. I mean, because the vision is you've got the Boys and Girls Club, which is your place to put this. And that's got a very substantial base to begin with. But you're taking now what is normally done there, and you're adding this concept of an academy, and you're going to teach financial literacy and hopefully entrepreneurism too. Don't let that one die, because that's the heart of America when we get here. How are you going to do that? And let me dump this one on Dave, because he's the guy who's going to implement all this, right?
Thanks, Ray. So a lot of Boys and Girls Club programs are more experiential, more project-based, where students learn more by doing. Because the last thing somebody wants to do after school is go back and sit to someone preaching about a specific topic. So we were looking at how can we do these entrepreneurial concepts and the financial literacy concepts in a fun, engaging way. And so we're bringing on some nationally known partners. One of them is Junior Achievement of New Jersey. They have great experience with their business and entrepreneurial programs. And they're actually going to be running those programs with us in our building this year. And one of them is almost like a Shark Tank program, where students, that after they've learned how to create a business plan, they actually work with mentors that help them fine-tune their business plan, where they would then each quarter go in front of a group of investors, just like on the show on Shark Tank, and they would make their pitch for an investment. And the funds that we raise would be some of that startup capital to enable those students while they're in high school to implement that business plan. We also then, Junior Achievement is doing an introductory program that has students working with teams that they actually then put on almost like a flea market business, where they learn all the different business components to do that. TD Bank is working with us with the financial literacy and investing piece. They actually have a virtual stock market game where the students learn about investing and the different investing vehicles. And it's all done online with virtual dollars. So students can actually track how they do when they invest dollars week to week. And then while they're doing that, they learn about various investing principles, but also, most importantly, how to save money, what is a budget, the importance of saving money. So they learn some of those basic financial literacy tools. And then their second level program is actually a financial investing club, where investors come in and help them learn how the endowment fund for this program is invested. And they actually do some of the research and actually make some of the presentations on how they would invest those dollars.
Sounds like an ambitious program, and I know you have ambitious goals. And what's the goal here? You guys are going to try and raise how much money here?
Well, this year specifically $100,000. Now, once we have
higher?
well,
Yes.
Yes, we're committed. I mean, ultimately, we want this to be an ongoing, recurring revenue stream, and in order to get the numbers up that we really want to make this a very successful program, we're going to need probably a little bit of outside help. So after this year, we'll have 2 years where we're going to be able to prove some success. We'll reach out to endowments and other funders. If I could just follow up on one thing Dave said.
I'll tell you what, can we hold that
We
until
can,
after our
we can.
break? And we'll
All
come
right.
back and we'll start out with all the wisdom that you have to bring to the table.
Thanks so much, Ray.
Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Love my style, I'm dancing tonight. My smile from pearly white side. Love myself, love my style. Pearly white, love your smile. From teens to grown-ups faces, they can change your life. All ages and all faces, your smile from pearly white. Love yourself, love your style. Pearly white, love your smile.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York.
Welcome back to Breaking the Rules. I'm Ray Lowe. I'm your host for the day, and I'm here with Dave, Bill, and RJ, right? And you were making a comment when we went to break. Bill, you're up.
I just wanted to follow up on what Dave had to say. Another important component of the training program is to give these youngsters who may not otherwise be exposed to role models in the financial industry, people who they can look to and say, gee, this person's a banker or a financial planner or a realtor, and they're making a living doing these kinds of activities and providing these kinds of services for people. Many times, these youngsters don't have a role model to relate to, so that they don't go into this field, not because there's not a demand for the services, it's that it doesn't come into their purview. And I just wanted to make that point. We're going to put together a team of people, I've already lined up quite a few, that will come in as guest speakers and talk not so much about the details of financial planning, but about the occupation, the rewards, and give them a vision, an opportunity to see careers that otherwise they may or may not be exposed to.
Cool. Let's talk for a minute about the entrepreneurial component of this. Near and dear to my heart. I am one, I think. Okay, so fill in what your thoughts are here, how you're going to bring your thoughts and vision into this program.
Well, I'm leaving a lot of that up to Dave. I'm kind of planting the seed that this is an important aspect. The way I think I'm going to have direct involvement in making sure that the entrepreneurial seeds grow is to help to pull in more entrepreneurs as mentors. As Bill said, you learn through modeling others. And if you have good role models and you have people to ask questions to and learn, you're going to be able to do and follow similar career paths. So going back to your question, Ray, about goals for this year. Last year we were very focused on the financial goal of raising money. We knew we had to raise a certain amount of money to get this program off the ground and to generate continued interest. This year our goals, obviously we still want to raise money for this program, but we're also expanding those goals. We want to expand the number of runners we have. We want to expand the numbers of mentors and volunteers we have coming in to help. That's really the foundational aspect that's going to keep a program like this going for the long term. And so on that note, last year, for example, we both had people from our companies as runners. I had people from an organization I belong to called EO New Jersey, Entrepreneurs Organization of New Jersey. They joined in as runners. We had the Trenton Rotary as a big supporter. This year we have even more runners from Trenton Rotary, so that support is continuing to grow. And what we're doing is we're reaching out to all of the board members of the Boys and Girls Club as well as other companies to say, hey, form a team, join us, come bring 5 or 6 or 7 runners to the group, and we want to really expand that group because many hands make light work, and if we have more runners, we're going to blow away our fundraising goals.
Okay. And I just want to point out, it doesn't have to be the half marathon. I mean, it's one thing to run 13.1 miles. It's another thing that many of these people, there's a 1 mile fun run that
walk.
Even
you can walk
kids can get out there, you know, a 10-year-old. There's a 5K, which is 3.1 miles. There's a 10K, which is 6.2 on that Saturday. So there's really no excuse to not get out there and help us with this and help us raise some money.
Yep.
Okay, when is this? You know, give us a date. How do you sign up for this? You know, and let's do a recruiting commercial.
Sure. So people can visit the Boys and Girls Club of Mercer County website, which is B for boy, G for girl, C for club, mercer.org. You go to our events section and you'll see Run for Club Kids. It's on November 3rd is the 1 mile, 5K and 10K, and November 4th is the Princeton Half Marathon, and there's all information on how to get involved in that. Under the How You Can Help section, there's a volunteer page, and that's where, as Reggie and Bill mentioned, if someone wants to come in and be a guest speaker to support our financial investing or our entrepreneurial program or host a visit to their company, are all ways in which people can volunteer to get involved in the project as well.
Cool. You know, I think there are a couple of reasons why people should get involved. I mean, one is it's a great cause. Number two, if you're an entrepreneur or have entrepreneurial learning, this is a chance to set kids up, right? Mm-hmm. It's a chance to have a social event here. I mean, you know, you're participating in your running, but it's more than that. You know, as we get older, Bill, this staying in shape is interesting. You were telling me a quick story. If you can give me a short version of the internet site that you went to about your age and how it impacted your running and why in here?
Okay. 6-7 years ago, I weighed 208 pounds. I was, my cholesterol was high, my blood pressure was high. I was being treated for both. I had pain in my left shoulder, and I was treated by a cardiologist. And one day, it was just a Saturday, I looked in the mirror and I said, you know, I don't like what I'm seeing. So I went downstairs got on the internet and started banging around and found this site called realage.com. And it asked you questions about your state, your height, your weight, your activities, all of these questions. I put it in and it told me that I was 63 and a half years old. And guess what? That's exactly what I was. So I didn't learn anything. So I said, well, this isn't very much fun. Let's make up a hypothetical. Let's ask the question, well, what if I were 35 pounds lighter? What if I could run 2 miles? What if I had normal cholesterol and blood pressure? What if I wasn't treated by a cardiologist because my cardiovascular system was repaired? And suddenly I'm a 56-year-old.
Cool.
So-
There's self-motivation
So-
in here, and there's
so
strategic
that's what
benefits.
started it, yeah.
So summing up real quick, we have the Boys and Girls Club. They're the people who are gonna run this vision of a program. We're gonna teach entrepreneurialism. We're going to teach financial literacy. We have a team that's putting together money, and you can support that team by going to the Boys and Girls website and going online and enrolling in this event. And I think you guys are doing absolutely magnificent things, and thanks for joining us on Breaking the Rules today. It was great having
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks for
Really
having us.
appreciate it. Fabulous.